The Japanese continuation of the 87 TMNT show was weird. I know, that's a surprising thing coming from Japan. This DVD of the Ninja Turtles OVA is actually the first thing I ever bought on eBay. Way back in the dark ages when you used money orders to pay for stuff on there. Back then, there was very little info I could find about this. All I knew was that this was a strange Japanese continuation of the 87 TMNT show, so I just really wanted to see how that went. And I certainly wasn't disappointed by the bizarreness of the anime Turtles. Even this DVD of the Turtles OVA is a rather bizarre thing. Everything about it looks like a legit release at first. Sure, the menu is a little lazy looking, but that happens on official things sometimes. Also, the fact that the video on the disc is a VHS rip is also a thing that will happen with cheaper legit releases. But then, looking closer, you see not one, but two Yahoo email addresses listed on the disc for Anime and Cartoon Mac. However, the disc also says that it's an authorized video for Hong Kong, the Philippines, Taiwan, Thailand, and Malaysia. A legit release having a Yahoo email address on it, though, seems highly unlikely. Looking up these emails listed, it leads to posts on various forums of people confused if they've bought an official release of something or not. Everyone just seems very confused about these cartoon/anime Mac releases as they all seem professional, but then the email addresses raises a red flag. So yeah, probably a bootleg here, but I do also have a legit VHS release in one of those weird rental cases. Kinda interesting about this is that it's listed as only being for rental, so I guess you couldn't buy this back in the day. The DVD cover is also mostly the same as the release of the tape that only had the first episode on it, rather than the one that has both episodes on it. But this DVD does contain both episodes. Now, legit or not, this DVD is what we'll mainly be using, as that has English subtitles, and I'd be a little lost without a translation. And now I know that the turtles need to chew their gum properly. That gum the turtles like coming back in style to chew properly was always one of my favorite weird lines in this. Now I guess this is one of those weird Japanese wordplay jokes that they love doing because the word for turtle and chew are similar. These Turtles OVAs were made to promote the Super Turtles toy line, which we did actually get over here in North America as the Super Mutants line, but the molds weren't the same as the Japanese ones. The gimmick of the Japanese line is that the figures can transform from their regular turtle mode to their Super Turtle one. The North American figures don't transform and just have a weird Super Turtle form from a cartoon we never got. I like putting my Super Turtle Raph in his Super mode, but with his regular head. I don't particularly care for the more human-y looking faces of the Super Turtles, but now how did they get this way?
そこでミュータ石という不思議な石を授かったスーパーミューテーションその石は彼らを3分間だけスーパータートルズへとパワーアップさせる能力を持つのである
Oh yeah, sure. I think that cleared everything up. Yeah, these episodes don't actually cover the turtles first discovering their super mutation power. That is just summed up in a confusing previously on segment. So this foolishly led me to believe that there were more episodes of this, but no, there were only the two that were on here. The previously on segment is actually summing up a story told from the manga of the Super Turtles. And in the manga, the Turtles also destroy Shredder's old armor, which is why Oroko Saki has a vastly different look. Mark Pellegrini of TMNT Entity has actually done a translation of the Super Turtles manga. Plus, they have a lot of interesting TMNT posts, so you should definitely check out their site at tmntentity.blogspot.com. So, the Turtles have a rather interesting buff design in the manga, which is kind of odd that it's changed here when they gave them their regular 87 turtle designs in the anime and the cover of the manga. Character design in both things seems to be all over the place though, because April looks super anime, which stands out a lot against the Turtles and Splinter looking like they're straight out of the 87 cartoon. Splinter does look slightly different in the manga with bushy eyebrows, but then you have things like Krang, Bebop, Rocksteady, and the Foot Soldiers all keeping their original cartoon designs in both things. And as abrupt as the OVA is throwing you into a previously on segment that has some huge changes from anything we've known from Ninja Turtles, the manga that explains it is pretty abrupt as well. The manga starts with the Turtles already celebrating having destroyed Shredder's old armor when suddenly they are teleported to the Neutrino Kingdom where the fairy Chris Mew tells them about the Mutastones. Krang and Shredder have already invaded the Neutrino Kingdom and have the Dark Mutastone. Yay, the neutrinos! I love the stupid neutrinos. You might think this would lead to us having to deal with Dask, Kala, and Zack, but no. I guess they're just trying to build on neutrino lore and no neutrino character is actually featured in the story. And that's fine. This gets even more confusing though because the anime is actually only a continuation of the first issue of the manga. The 2 volumes after that tell a differing story about the Super Turtles. And actually, the previously on recap starts deviating from what happened in the first issue as it's implied that the Turtles achieved their combiner form, Saint Turtle, during their first battle as the Super Turtles. And yes, the Turtles have a combiner form because Japan. In the manga, though, the Turtles do not immediately form Saint Turtle. In fact, they screw up immediately by talking too long and not realizing that their super forms have a 3-minute time limit. Krang explains the Mutastones as being a more concentrated form of the mutagen, so it's kinda odd that it only has a temporary effect. I also thought it was kind of interesting that the Mutastones are depicted as being in a canister like the mutagen in the manga, but not in the anime. Well, except for one shot. The second volume of Super Turtles is even stranger though, however the Turtles are drawn a little bit more like their 87 selves. In that one, they all take a trip to the beach and ogle April. Say it with me now, because Japan. Krang has left a nice jar there because apparently he knew Splinter wouldn't be able to resist that. It contains a bug that hops inside Splinter and slowly turns him to stone. The Turtles have to use their super mutation to shrink themselves and go inside Splinter's body. Guess the Turtles shrinking in season 2 of the 87 show wasn't enough for Japan. The Turtles again have a time limit on their super mutation, and if they wait too long, they'll regrow and explode Splinter from inside, which they imagine a few times. There's also a part where Splinter's white blood cells start licking the Turtles' butts because Japan. And I've got to highlight the amazing translator's note on this because that made me laugh quite a bit. They have a battle with super mutation Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady inside Splinter, save him from being stoned, and then Splinter shits Shredder and company out. Yes, really. It's not until the 3rd issue of the manga that the Turtles find out about being able to combine into Saint Turtle. For some reason during this, April takes Chris Mew to a theme park, and there's a kind of funny bit where she says all of the Turtles can't come as well wearing their same stupid bald masks. Shredder gets taken over by the evil fairy Dark Mew and goes insane and grows large in his Devil Shredder form, because Japan, and then the Turtles have to take him out as Saint Turtle. It's thought though that using all this super mutation energy has killed Chris Mew, but they leave it open that she might return. I guess not though, because it never made another issue. The Turtles OVA, usually in English, is either called the Superman Legend, or what sounds a little better, the Legend of the Super Mutants. So, the OVA's intro features both the Super Turtles mutations, which is featured in the first episode, Super Turtles in a Major Pinch, the debut of the Saint, and the Metal mutations from episode 2, the advent of Guardian Beasts, the Metal Turtles debut. Now, Japan had 3 different dubs of the 87 TMNT show, which is something I went over in my TMNT edits video. The OVA used mostly the same cast from the TV Tokyo dub. The first first episode starts with NASA astronauts noticing that stars are going missing, but Mission Control is too preoccupied with McDonald's to really care.
キャプテン、地球にメガネを忘れてったんじゃないのかい？様というやつは。
Classic turtles. Also, to immediately confuse, this is not actually Krang in a bubble walker on the outside of the shuttle, but is just a listening device.
これでこの地球は終わりだわっしょ。
バカバカしい。その間に我が輩が小さまになっちまったらただじゃおかねえぞタゴ。
Shredder calling Krang a stupid octopus was just a thing he did in the TV Tokyo dub. Krang also refers to Shredder as Sawaki here, as that's what they modified the name Saki to, as it sounded better in Japanese. He also added the Chan on the end to be disrespectful. So apparently Dark Mew is about to awaken from the Dark Mutastone, which is causing the stars to vanish. Shredder and Krang want to use the Dark Mutastone to destroy the Earth, but this isn't happening right away for some reason. So other stars are vanishing instead, but I'm not really sure how Krang is supposed to be able to direct this towards the Earth specifically, but apparently he could, but doesn't?
回りくどいな。先に地球を破壊してしまわないのはなぜだ？
子猫の性格でちよ。
Yeah, I've always thought Krang had the personality of a kitten. This is the only explanation given for why they apparently don't try to destroy the Earth right away.
I want to destroy the Earth and kill everyone there, but I have the personality of a kitten, so I'll do it later.
地球を破壊するのは結構だが、我が輩たちはどこに住めばいいんだ？
ディメンション X に住めばいいじゃない。
At last, I can conquer my home dimension.
But I don't want to conquer this place. I want to conquer Earth.
I love that Shredder's just so short-sighted. Yeah, destroying the Earth sounds great! But wait, where will I crash after that? Shredder then threatens to fry Krang up and eat him. You know how that goes.
ではここで当局が入手したエンデバー船長の無線連絡をお聞きください。
私はメガネを忘れてない。
Oh, those astronauts are always such jokesters.
トナちゃん、宇宙の星が全部なくなるのに何百年かかるの？
Oh, the universe is vanishing? How mundane.
は
ーい。いやあ、エイプリル、瞬間移動でもしたのかい？
いやあね、今の放送は VTR よ。
Jeez, how long does it take the turtles to realize that not everything on TV is live?
またあの連中が何か企んでるような気がするんだけど。
Oh yeah, good old Shredder in the gang.
宇宙でもダークミューを置いて他にはいないのです。誰かがその眠りを解こうとしてるんだわ。
シュレッダーたちめ。
You know, as I always say, damn Shredder!
おいて。
何よ、まだデビルシュレッダーにミューテーションしてないの？このノロマネマヌケの役立たず。
マヌケはどっちだスダコ野郎。
Well, they certainly kept the Shredder and Krang arguing like an old married couple thing from the 87 show in the Japanese translation. At least for the TV Tokyo dub they did. I guess Shredder was a little more respectful in the Toa dub.
そんな奴らの相手をしてる暇があったらさっさとやるべきことをやったらどうなる？
だが地底に隠れたこの有自然の世界で俺様に何をしろというのだ。
The turtles immediately find Shredder and the gang being dummies, and apparently are already bored of them powering up.
やれやれ、懲りない連中だね。形が変わっても中身は間抜けなまんまなのにさ。
That's the best way to sell these super mutations as a new exciting thing.
力が湧いてくるぜ。
タートルパワー！スーパーミューテーション！
I don't know if this is coming across at all, but this is kinda weird. I guess this is just about as weird, though, as the extra mutations during the last Red Sky seasons of the show, just with a distinctly more Japanese flavor. Out of the two, though, I guess I'd take the next mutation being a power-up rather than just them turning into useless monsters.
私は事件の真相を世界中に放送します。大スクープだわ。
Holy scoop!
What's April gonna report? That it's an evil fairy from a stone that's being woken up that'll kill us all? Guess they might put that on the news. So, I guess Krang can't control the fairy and was just lying about his kitten personality. The twists and turns of this Turtles OVA, I tell ya. Wait, so the foot soldiers are more than just fighting machines? Like they have desires to go on vacations and stuff? Kinda makes the Turtles slaughtering them seem a lot harsher. Right. Anyway, back to the super anime battle with weird special moves and stuff. I always thought this is what Turtles needed to be. Also, Devil's Shredder reminds me a lot of Galvatron from Transformers R.I.D. 2001. Shit is right. Who the hell is Maku? Ugh, don't you hate when that happens? Hey, well, excuse me, Donatello. I guess the Technodrome had to be on Earth somewhere as Splinter and Chris Mew just stroll right into the control room with Krang. Kinda seems a little dangerous and stupid trying to get Dark Mew to destroy the Earth while you're still on it. The police have probably already stopped bothering to respond to calls from the interdimensional brain about trespassers in his giant tank fortress. I gotta say though, Splinter vs. Krang isn't a matchup we really got to see that often, so this is kinda neat for that, and Splinter is ready to take Krang out hard. Dark Mew starts to awaken and disasters start happening on Earth, and we get a cameo from the mutant frogs. They don't do anything, but they're there. And we also get to see the foot soldiers on their field trip, aka vacation. I guess you could say it looks like the foot soldiers are blasting off again! But don't say that. We rejoin the Super Turtles versus Shredder and the gang, who get taken out by a tidal wave, which again highlights how ill thought out the destroy the Earth while you're still on it plan is. We saw stars vanishing right away. Why does it take longer for the Earth? It must be because the Earth is so much bigger. Oh, wait. The Technodrome just floats? I find that highly unlikely, especially in one of the arcs with it was the Technodrome being stuck at the bottom of the ocean. The Turtles and Splinter are saved by a pizza sign, instead of, having a pizza sign trying to murder them like in the arcade game. And April arrives via chopper to let the Turtles know that Shredder and the gang are only a few feet away.
Are you okay, Saki? Okay, my ass, Krang.
With Dark Mew awakened, she zaps Shredder and turns him into Giga Dark Shredder, much like with what happened in issue 3 of the manga.
Make my monster grow!
This is a better Turtles Power Ranger crossover than their actual crossover. Dark Shredhead starts doing Kamehamehas, but Splinter can easily deal with those, apparently, and he doesn't even need to wrap them up in a table cover. Donatello taunts Shredder into energy blasting a building, which lands on top of him and presumably kills a lot of people.
Too bad it's Sunday.
Splinter reminds the Turtles they only have 100 seconds as Saint Turtle and has a giant timer on hand, which is just very anime and weird to see Splinter doing. Speaking of very anime. So, unlike the manga where Dark Mew possessed Giga Shredder, here the turtles fight her directly, but they start arguing with each other while in their fused form.
そのコンビネーションの悪さじゃ大したことなさそうね。地球の前にお前たちを始末してやる。
4人の呼吸が合わないと奴は倒せない。
Did we really need the evil fairy boob bounce, Japan? Chris Mew tells Saint Turtle to use their special power-up move to blast them both, but they hesitate, causing Splinter to appear over the earth, telling them to just do it. They don't have time to care about Chris Mew. You know, I feel like Splinter's been holding back a lot of powers over the course of the 87 show.
最終4人の心が一致しなければ放つことはできない。
メガファイナルセイントブレイ
Now you're really working together as a team! After the turtles do their little fairy extermination blast, their fusion time runs out, and I guess this NASA shuttle swooped right in as they unfused so that the turtles didn't die in space.
助けてくれてありがとうございます。ところでこのシャトルにはピザ積んであります？
No, Mikey, not every spaceship is like the Power Rangers one where they just have pizza on board.
ところで、あの洪水の後始末、どうすんの？
Ha ha ha! A bunch of people are dead. Oh well.
新たな事件が待ち受けていたのである。正義の亀に休息はない。
So now it's on to episode 2 featuring the metal mutations, which of course was another toy line, but this mutation mostly just looks like the turtles put on a shit ton of armor instead of gaining a weird new form like the Super Turtles. I guess at this point the Turtles and Splinter aren't even pretending to hide from the general public as they just take a commercial flight to Japan. Shredder also has different armor again. I guess his other new suit must have gotten wrecked during the events of episode 1. Krang has found new mutastones in Japan and threatens to screech at Shredder if he doesn't go get it. Yep, that's really it. Bad Krang! No! That's no! We find out Splinter has brought the Turtles in April to Japan to help out an old ninja pupil of his who sent a really informative scroll about what's going on. It says help. That is all. If only Gridlock had stopped the blue line and then all other trains, he might have saved Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady's lives here.
やれやれ。幻だったらいいのにね。
タートルパワー！こんなところまで何しに来たんだ！
お前たちこそ何をしている？本当にここはどこだ？
ここは日本だ！
The entirety of Japan is your hometown, Shredder? Bebop and Rocksteady just try to shoot the turtles with possibly bullets, which would be the first time I think we've seen that since like season 1.
The bullets aren't stopping them.
But then they're saved by Sub-Zero, or Ryu from Ninja Gaiden, and his merry band of heroes. The UK would have just lost their minds had they tried to adapt this episode. A truly touching reunion. This Kinzo guy shows them the reason he asked them to Japan is some sacred mirror that someone has apparently been trying to steal. I guess he and his ninja clan suck so much they can't protect a mirror. We also find out that apparently it's just some stupid ghost that laughs a lot that's been trying to steal the mirror, even though he doesn't actually do anything other than stand there and laugh. So, yeah, this Kinzo guy kind of blows. Donatello manages to figure out that the magic of this mirror is because it has a bunch of mutastones on it. The turtles were apparently just overstimulated by this gift of new armor and pass out on the floor until an annoying laughing ghost wakes them up.
どちら様で？
史上最悪と言われた恐怖の怨霊。はるか昔、我らの祖先服部半蔵がこの地に封印したのだ。
Oh yeah, he's just some annoying vengeful spirit. You know how that goes.
かかってきなさい。
こんな時に亡霊が目覚めるなんてまずいよな。
こら、 失敬だぞ貴様らとっとと気づかんか
バカにバカ呼ばわりされる覚えはない
I love that Shredder and the Turtles just stand around insulting each other while no one gives a shit about the stupid laughing ghost. Kenzo then activates some hidden giant fortress, which just comes up really clean for apparently being buried under the earth. If he's got crap like this to pull out of his ass, why did Kenzo have to bug the Turtles and Splinter with his mirror problems? Now everyone just has to scale the fortress to get to the mirror, so this mostly seems like a waste of time. And speaking of waste of time, I wish this chucklefuck ghost would go blow himself.
これ城なんでしょそうだが建物の中に入れば階段があるんじゃない
You said it, random bird. What am I watching? I mean, really now.
まずいよレオちゃん忍者の威厳を傷つけちゃったみたいだよ
Shredder and the gang reached the top, but so did the crooked, useless ninja gang who throw a bunch of decoy mirrors on the ground.
上物貴様は本物がどれか分かっているのか
This whole plot is dumb shit. Nothing really seems to matter in this plot. Krang portals in front of the Turtles, which is a dilemma for 2 seconds until they just run past him. Mr. Died of Laughter points out the real mirror to Shreddio, Bebop, and Rocksteady, who all gain their metal mutation forms. All of these forms just kind of look like they're Transformers from Beast Wars or something. This second episode feels like the Turtles walked into a completely different anime series, one that's more annoying and less interesting. Kenzo gets the mirror from Krang so that the Turtles can also get their Zords or whatever and gain their metal mutations.
Metal Mutation! の召喚時間は6分間でござる
I guess just everyone keeps one of those timers around just in case. Then it's just a special move parade for a while. The villains all repeat their special move animations too, even though we just saw them. And the Turtles apparently only win and get the mirror back because Shredder's metal mutation time runs out.
結局あいつ何しに来たんだ
Good question. So of course we don't get an answer. The ghost just showed up to laugh pointlessly.
金蔵さん今度のしまったは何だい
この隠し取りでは意外と脆いのだ
And they died! We can assume that's what happened anyway, because that's the end of the Turtles anime series. These are both really strange things to exist, but I gotta say that the Super Turtles episode is much better than the Metal Mutations one. The stakes were slightly higher with the Earth's destruction on the line, where in episode 2 it's about saving a mirror for a bunch of ninja ninnies who were scared of a ghost that did nothing but laugh at them. The Super Turtles are also a much more bizarre transformation, and really, if I'm gonna see a weird anime version of the Ninja Turtles, I'd rather it be as far out there as it can. But I'm afraid I just used up all of my Super Reviewer mutation time! Or something. Bye-bye!
I don't like this movie, doesn't too friendly. This bootleg is so fake, that toy is gonna break. Famous, don't let me down, you need to be around. Grab that chocolate pizza, I even like it cause I want. Famous, so famous, bring on Mortal Comedy. Famous, so famous, an animation movie. Famous, so famous, what really is so fun. Famous, so famous, what's your opinion about?
Cowabunga, dude!
How impolite of you bastards!